Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Hendo's Hot Topics. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're loving yourself. Now today we have Kevin Pichot. How's it going, my friend?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you for making the trek. The traffic is horrible today, so I
Mm.
really appreciate you spending your Friday and coming over on the podcast.
My pleasure.
Now, what I love to ask straight off is, how are you doing in general? How's life for Kevin?
Well, pretty good. Can't complain. Just
Yeah.
came back from 6 weeks trip in Europe over the summer for there. So winter in New Zealand.
Yep.
Now I'm tracking pretty well. Spring is coming. So I can feel some good vibes.
Nice.
Hustling until December. And then starting a new year again.
Yeah, good. Now, I like to get straight into it. So,
Yes.
how was life growing up for Kevin? What was your upbringing like?
Well, so obviously, as you can maybe hear with the accent, originally from France. So grew in France in a small village, and in a family of one brother, one sister, and obviously parents. Very lovely family. Pretty much grow in the fitness industry
Yep.
as a work. Always been into the fitness industry. Finishing study, straight into it. Study was not really my thing. School, like being seated behind the desk, was not really my thing. So pretty much trying to make the most of it through sports and inspiring people to move. So I did that in France for like 5 years, and then decided to come in New Zealand.
Yep.
Which was maybe the scariest thing to do at first when I booked my flight, but overall maybe one of the best decision I made. And it's been 8 years now.
8 years,
So,
wow.
Yeah, pretty long story. No English when I arrived.
Yep.
So it took me a little bit of a while to learn the language, connect, understand the culture and the values. But pretty happy to be here now.
What brought you over to New Zealand? What was it?
So first of all, the language.
Yep.
I really wanted to learn how to speak English, and as I said to you, school was not really my thing.
Yeah.
So learning a language, seated on a chair behind a desk, was not my vibe. So I was like, okay, I need to go somewhere, somewhere exotic. I had
Yep.
for some reason I thought that New Zealand would be like a kind of like Bora Bora or Tahiti or like.
That's what you see on the movies, though, right?
Yeah. And I arrived and it was in the middle of winter in July, and I was not the vibe. And a lot of concrete in Auckland, so I came for the English first.
Yep.
And then through my passion of fitness, I was taking Les Mills classes in France.
Yep.
Do you know Les Mills
Yeah,
classes?
there's a few over here.
Like
Yeah.
body pump, body balance, all this kind of thing, which started in New Zealand.
Mhm.
And for me, I was seeing Les Mills as like the leader in the fitness industry. So I
Yep.
was like, if I can learn the language and still growing in my career, then that would be perfect.
Yep.
Would it be easy? Definitely not. But is there a chance? Yes. So I took the chance, and that's the reason why I came.
Love
and
that.
stayed, actually.
Now, I'm really interested. You hear people say they learn new languages, especially English, of watching movies or listening to songs. How did you learn English?
Well, I've been lucky enough, or I guess maybe a bit of luck and a bit of like opportunist as well, to get a job 14 days after I arrived. And my job was to be on the gym floor at Les Mills, Auckland City,
Nice.
gym instructor. And my job was just to speak to people every day and try to correct their technique or support them anyhow. And that's pretty much how I learned.
Yep.
So it started with an interview where I couldn't understand anything, obviously, but made it for some reason because I was pretty determined, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to work here, like, give me a job. And then on the gym floor, well, that was the funny part, because imagine yourself on a gym floor in a gym in France, not speaking French. Where do you start? Well, you just have to start somewhere. So it started by like introducing myself. So as I always add the same sentence. Hey, my name is Kevin. I come from France. I'm gym instructor. Can I help you?
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh yeah, can you please show me how to do it? And then I was like, no English.
That's all I know.
However, squat, no good. So I was just demonstrating beside, and I was like knees out, even though I couldn't say knees. Yeah, it took me a little while to learn the language, and actually, yeah, a lot of time to learn the language properly. But that was a good challenge, and I was only doing 4 hours shift.
Yep.
Each day, so that was pretty chill. But 4 hours with the music English, with your colleagues English, with the clients or members English, like my brain was just like completely smashed.
Yeah.
And I was just coming back home being like, wow, like I'm so tired. It's so interesting to experience. Maybe 3 months, it took me 3 months to like start being a little bit more comfortable with like listening and trying to understand. And then you try to respond, take another 3-6 months.
Yeah.
With your poor accent, because this is the beauty of accent. You think that your accent is perfect, but I think at the moment that my accent is perfect, but it's definitely not.
Yeah. Got you.
So some people got it, some people don't, and maybe I don't have it. So yeah, I would say it took me, because I haven't been to school in New Zealand to learn the language. It took me maybe 3 years to be comfortable, and 5-6 years to be really comfortable in any topics and talk about politics or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at first, I could only say like squat, push up, press up, whatever. That was my only vocabulary.
Well, all I have to say is it's good you didn't go to school in New Zealand, because the language at the schools in New Zealand is not the English language you want to learn. That's
really?
for sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
You don't want to say the words that they're saying in the New Zealand schools to the clients. Think it's a good thing.
True.
Now, when you came up to New Zealand and you got your citizenship, you just said how you're big into fitness, which is actually awesome, because you're learning a new language whilst doing something you love, which is pushing people to work out and staying active. Was it one of your goals when you came over here to own a business, and now the business that you do own, which is Fat Fitness Altogether? Was that the sort of goal?
Not really.
Yeah, what
Like,
was your goal?
It's I think it's interesting from a New Zealand perspective, like New Zealand citizens perspective, to understand how it works for foreigners to come in the country. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I will try to make it short, but you start with a working holiday visa, which gives you access to come to New Zealand and be on holiday and work for a year in any businesses. Then just before the year finish, you need to apply for a work visa. And so you have to send an application, and not all work visas are accepted, and some work visas are like 3 years, some others are 1 year. So for me, and I'm not citizen yet, I'm just resident at the moment.
Oh, right, got you, okay.
It took me like one work holiday visa, 1 year work visa, another year work visa, then a work to residency for 2 years, then resident, and now I'm permanent resident because I've been here for 8 years.
Ah, okay.
And I will have to wait another 2 years to become New Zealand citizen.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a journey. It's like, it's actually
you have to
journey.
stay. Yeah.
And funnily enough, when I left New Zealand, I just said to my parents, I'm going for like maybe 8 months, maybe a year, and then see how it goes. And then the second year, I was like exactly the same. Maybe I'm going to stay, maybe I'm going to leave. And for me, the big change has been being able to become a resident. Because residency is giving you the accessibility to be in 2 different parts of the world. And for me, it was like, wow, I can choose if I want to live in Europe or in New Zealand for the rest of my life. I'm keen. Even for my family, you never know what's going on, you know? So that was really a process of like each year after each year, making decision for your future. And for the entrepreneurship part, I guess I always knew that I was willing to own my business at some point. My first business in New Zealand, and not many people know that, was a food truck. I was selling waffles in markets. And that was my first business because I was bored at Les Mills and I had some spare time. So on the weekend with my girlfriend, we were going to markets and sell waffles. And guess what? It didn't work.
Was it like the Belgian waffles?
Yeah, but
and it didn't work.
It didn't work because they were too small. Anyway, like it's a long story. all the kids were willing it, but not the parents. It was not. I haven't done much like market research.
Because the parents had to pay for it.
That's
eh?
it. And then I was like, oh, this is not working. So let's change food.
Yeah.
Keep the same food truck, but change food. And then I start making raclette, which is a French dish.
Mhm.
Like sell you the dream, but it's like melted cheese on top of potatoes and kind of like bacon,
Oof,
prosciutto. And I did the first event at a French festival, so obviously people were coming to try French food. So it was very successful, and I was
Yep.
like, wow, this is it. Like I've got my business and
You've
it's
made it.
working.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend I went to, I don't know, like a random market in the evening, and then no one bought it because people were just keen for like a fish and chips or
Yeah.
poutine or chicken rice, whatever. And so I understood the second lesson in my business life of like, okay, it's not because it's working once that it will work twice or
Yep.
three. And so that was my first entrepreneur journey, which was, I've been quite successful with the raclette, a bit more, but not much. And as soon as I became residency, because when you're on work visa, I'm going to make it short, but when you're on work visa, you are you are allocated to a specific company. So
Got
if
you.
I was with Les Mills and I couldn't work for another company.
Yep.
As soon as you become resident, you are free.
Okay. Yep.
So you can do whatever you want,
Yep.
like a citizen New Zealander.
Yeah.
And therefore, for me, it was like, wow, okay, what do I want to do with my life now? I can speak the language. And
No
New
more
Zealand,
baked potatoes.
no more potatoes. That's it.
Yeah.
I always been into the fitness industry. Can I do something in it? And I, maybe for 8 months,
Mhm.
I researched a lot regarding like on the corporate wellness kind of like market.
Yep.
Because I was doing a bit of that with Les Mills. And just learning, getting closer to like an idea of business. But it was kind of like startup. So it's like taking ages and a lot of reflection and a lot of like meetings and stuff. Until Elliot, who used to own Fitness Altogether, was often coming to my class at Les Mills. And one day we just end up like organizing a coffee, and Elliot was like, would you like to take some classes for fat?
Yep.
And I was like, bro, I'm not in the mindset of like taking all the classes. I want to own my own business, and I want to like really make something for me and toward the fitness industry. And he was like, well, I've got corporate clients, you got experience. If we share forces, we can go twice faster.
Yep.
And after 6 months of discussion of like how it will work and what I will bring and what does it need and what does he bring and how can we work together, we signed the contract in the middle of lockdown. And
Just casual.
just
casual.
Oh, it was not casual. It was very like it was like we were like, okay, it's a big thing, like joining a business is a big thing, already a business that existing. So yeah, it was a big step in our life, both of us. And when we shake hands and sign the contract, we were like, okay, let's do it, because it's lockdown. It's the beginning of COVID. It was in July 2020.
Yep.
And we were like, wow, we need to make it work now because we're into it. And here we are 2 years and 3 months after. So yeah, pretty grateful for the experience. Elliot is no longer working for Fitness Altogether, so pretty much by myself with amazing team of coaches. And yeah, everything is good, bro.
Good, bro.
I'm happy.
I love that. Interesting. I want to take it back then when you first signed the contract and just before you said it, just before COVID hit. Did it take a toll on you for the whole? Because no one knew how long COVID was going to be for, and it became a year, and it became 2 years. Sometimes it became longer for others. Did it take a toll on you guys when you're like, okay, well, we've got this fitness business that we want to get going. When can we get it going? Like, how did you push through that COVID stage?
Well, the business was already existing.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we know it's working.
Yep.
There's COVID. We thought that it was for 4 months at first, We thought that the world will come back straight.
Yeah.
And so we had this kind of like positive mindset of like, okay, it will work once everything is going back to normal. So we were pretty positive. We knew that people were keen to do something different because this is what we want to be at Fitness Altogether, is do like different things. So we had the same vision. It was just like starting somewhere. But don't get me wrong, when I said to my close friends, I'm going to invest into a fitness business in the middle of a pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
like fitness industry has been like really impacted by COVID.
Yeah.
People were scared as fuck.
Yeah.
They were like, there's 2 meters apart, cleaning your equipment every time. Like, that was tough. So when I said to my friend, we're going all in, they were like, well, you just have to make it work now. And we did. We did like survive COVID, obviously, because I'm still here with Fitness Altogether. And I couldn't be more grateful for this global pandemic to challenge Elliot and myself
Mm-hmm.
in our relationship, because it was a business partner it's a wedding.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Your business partner is the person that you need to look after, take care of, grow, having the same vision, checking in every time, and obviously we had a lot of financial stress and like things to work together as well, because we knew each other for only a few months. So it was an amazing journey to share that with Elliot, because we were two boys having big dreams, and at the end of the day, even if Elliot is no longer working, like Elliot came to the class this morning. I took a class this morning. We were 60 and Elliot was there, and that's just showing how much it was more than just business partner.
Yes.
It became like a true relationship with him.
You guys worked through it together. You became really close.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, and we don't see each other every weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every time I see Elliot, and maybe we'll watch this video, I've got a lot of respect, and I think it's the same for his eyes. So amazing relationship, amazing friendship, and perfect way to start, because global pandemic was like challenging. So thanks for that in a way.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. That's just proves that if you're passionate about something and you believe in something so deeply, and you keep on working for it and through it, that it will work out with you. Work out for you, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sharing the same vision.
Yes. Yeah.
Number one, listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, and don't take things personally. Number three,
It's like a marriage, like you said.
don't take things personally. Communicate and share the same vision.
Yep. As easy as that.
As easy as that. It's a journey.
Yes. Now, I want to ask, bro, is what are some mental or personal challenges that you yourself have been through?
Well, I guess more recently, and I'm going to talk with my journey with Fitness Altogether.
Yeah.
Obviously, like owning your own business again in the middle of a global pandemic is very stressful, obviously. So I guess the biggest struggle that I went through was just like, due to my lack of experience into owning a business, was to give it all,
Yep.
You give it all, and you losing yourself into it, you like day and night, thinking about it, and like unconsciously losing your balance.
Yeah.
So that was some of the struggle. So first of all, you need to realize that you're struggling, because sometimes you just keep pushing until you hit the wall.
So
and
true.
That's kind of like me, actually. Like, I love hitting walls. Like, I need to hit a wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually, yeah, that's right. I'm not feeling that well. So yes, I guess not finding the balance between work, life, relationship and stuff was the toughest part at the beginning, and then finding solution, which for me has always been like I'm a proud owner of a camper van, and this camper van has been my like medication in a way of like going away. New Zealand is amazing. This is the reason why I'm here. I love the nature here. So even if it was going away for one night, reading my book, coming back, I was fresh and ready to start again. So this has been my medication for the last 2 years, I guess. Friends as well, learning on how to share your feeling with your close friend, with your family, even if they are far away. But definitely communication. Yeah.
How's have you been someone who's always been quite open and comfortable with sharing how they're feeling, or was it only quite recently when you started hitting the wall that you went, okay, I need to?
Well, not necessarily. I never like. I'm quite like not introvert, but
Quite private.
yeah, quite very private.
Yeah.
Like first, like private life
Yep.
and business life is different, and I only speak to very close friends.
Got you. Yep.
And I used to kind of like be quite stubborn as well.
Yep. Yep.
You know, like you can give me any advice, I will do my thing. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of like I know.
Yeah.
And that always has been my personality, and it's kind of like changing a little bit more because I'm lucky enough to have friends that's smarter than me in some ways, and I love listening to their advice, taking them
Yep.
or not taking them, but I'm listening, you know,
Yep.
just to find the right direction to achieve the vision, to always about the vision. So yeah, I've got amazing friends or amazing people surrounding me, colleagues, friends, and I think this is what I consider as my strength
Good.
at the moment, to like be where I am,
Yep.
because I couldn't be here by myself.
Love that, mate.
100%.
Yeah, love that. Where's somewhere? Well, where's your most favorite place that you've been so far in your camper van to just escape?
Ooh,
To just
that's
escape
a
things.
huge question.
It's an important question.
Well, I'm gonna like my heart is in Fatipu.
Ah, okay.
You know Fatipu?
Yep.
Bottom
Yep.
of the way to carry. If you don't know Fatipu, keep the secret. It's a secret location, but it's amazing. There's nothing there.
Yep.
There's just a campsite, and you can go in 4 different walks. You can go for a swim. It's quite dangerous apparently, but you can still go. Beautiful dunes. Like that's my happy place, and only 45 minutes from Auckland CBD, or 55 minutes. So Fatipu is always here somewhere. But I love like Manuko Heads.
Yep.
Hamilton Gap.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
an amazing place where you can stay as well for the night. And if you prefer white sand, I like Shakespeare Park.
Yep. Up in Whangaparoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last weekend I was at Matapoi, Tutukaka.
Nice.
Such a beautiful place.
To be fair, you've been to a lot more places
Maybe.
than myself and friends that I know that have grown up in New Zealand.
Oh,
It's crazy.
Maybe, bro, but I could say the same thing if you were going to France. If you're going to France for 8 years, you will have done more things that I've done, even if I lived 25 years there.
It's interesting, eh?
Yeah.
In our own countries, we have so many places to go, but we're so willing to go somewhere else.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. And if you feel like it,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Go overseas. That would be my advice for any Kiwis. Explore the world, because New Zealand is amazing, but New Zealand is also far. And like I'm a true supporter of like Europe, and I love Europe.
Yep.
And the diversity, the history, the gastronomy, everything.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, everyone should travel at some point in their life, because coming from my experience, I've learned so much traveling, just like confidence as well.
Yep.
You know, like when you're booking your flight to do like 28 hours flight when I was 24, it was like, wow, what am I doing? Like, but at the end of the day, you know, you always have like a return flight available, so why not? And so yeah, if you are willing to discover and go somewhere else, go for it.
Yep.
But also understand that within 45 minutes you can feel very relaxed and have very special moments connecting with the nature, because this is the beauty of New Zealand, man. It's just amazing.
There's a lot of places, especially around here, that you can just escape.
Oh yeah.
My partner and I take my truck up Middlewai Beach.
Yeah.
We take it up there and just escape.
You're so close.
Sometimes you just need 5-10 minutes, an hour, just to live life and reconnect with who you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
Stepping out of social media,
Yes.
observing the sunset.
Yeah.
Might sounds very cheesy,
But it's not. It's not.
at the end of the day, it's a good feeling to breathe fresh air.
Yep.
Going for a fresh cold swim at the moment, like it's refreshing.
100%.
Keep you down to earth and yeah, because we are very busy at the moment. Everyone is busy. Everyone is like driven and try to make things work.
Yep,
And
yep.
our brain is just overloaded. So you need to come back to nature.
Yeah. Love that.
Truly.
I want to ask you, Kevin. It's your time now, mate. I'm going to pass Hendo's Hot Topics over to you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to put anything out there. Manifest, maybe speak to your future self. You look back on, say something that maybe you wish you knew when you're younger. To the young guy or girl watching or listening. A piece of advice could be anything, my friend.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'm someone to give lesson or anything in life, but sharing my own journey at the moment, being busy, or I've been busy quite a lot recently. I'm trying to always keep it fresh and balance in my life always, and balance is always something like that's not easy to keep, you know. You have some up, you have some down, and I think talking with friends and more recently my flatmate just before, I think keep it curious, keep it creative, try something new. That would be my advice. That's what I'm going to try to do. Start painting, start playing an instrument, going for a walk, or buy a bike and start cycling, whatever it is. But I think wherever you are at the moment, due to all these things going on and overloaded brain, come back to creativity. I watched a very good documentary of David Bowie that's at the cinema at the moment. This man understood some stuff, like creativity never ends, and we are meant to be creative. So explore that. Business is good, but creativity is also important, I reckon.
That's awesome.
So that would be my thing.
That's a very good piece of advice and wisdom.
You again?
It's something that a lot of people look over. Like you said, our brains are so busy and we're moving all the time that we forget just the basic things.
Yeah.
Forget to take it back and just take it back.
But it's
to
just
simples.
like making the action, you know?
Yeah.
You like, because I can be like, oh yeah, I really want to be creative. I'll try something new. But most people are like never really making the action, you know? More recently, I went to my first like symphony, you know?
Oh, really?
I've never been to a symphony in my life, but that was pretty cool. Starting painting for some reason and actually found some like mindfulness around this.
Nice.
Going to the museum tomorrow for like a Greek exposition. Yeah, you know, why not? Those little things that step you out of your life, and you always feel good after that.
Just have to live life.
That's it.
Live life.
Stay curious.
Stay curious. Love that, mate. Well, again, thank you for coming on the podcast today and sharing your journey and story. And I absolutely love what you're doing. It's actually really, really inspirational. Just going out there and getting it done. Yeah. That's really something inspiring and really admiring. Sweet. So I appreciate you very much, mate. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
You know I love you guys very much. There's never a silly question in the world. You know, I say always ask questions to better yourself. And until next week, do what makes you happy, do what you know is right, and do what you need to do for you. See you later.
Thank you, Tim.
Love is lost, but you found out. The truth be told, that's the truth, and that's no doubt.